I'm going to teach you how to more effectively ask for what you want, regardless of what that is, or whom you're talking to, or the tone of the conversation. What I teach you in the next hour, you're going to be able to use not only in your professional life to ask for what you want, because that's kind of an important thing, but also in your personal life as well. We'll probably end up finding out some bad habits you have that you think are effective in being able to influence other people, but are actually detracting from your effectiveness and moving you away from your personal brand. And best of all, what I teach you, I expect you to use right away this afternoon in order to achieve some important goals. So how does that sound for use of your time?
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds better than that. How does it sound for use of your time? Damn right it's great. I don't think I can pull it off, to be honest with you, but if I can, I'll give it my best shot. Let me tell you where this came from, a little bit of the structure of this. Part of what you're going to learn is from my experience, as Don said, at American Express, where I was chief operating officer, ran a large service organization committed to being the world's most respected service brand, which is very heady. Because if somebody screws up in today's age in Massachusetts, somebody in Mexico City hears about it. So it's very tough. It's a tough thing. And what I found was my staff was not very good at demonstrating the behaviors that we needed to win. They were ineffective at asking me for what they wanted, which was problematic because I wanted to give them what they needed to win. I gave them their goals. I was aligned. And if they couldn't ask me, and I was the softest target, how in the world are they going to ask somebody else? Or ask a prospect or a client? So we began using the formula as a way to get in, get to the point, and get out. So we made decisions with alacrity, and we could align around them and get things done. Despite my title as COO, I ran a fairly large sales group as well. We had $1 billion sales, not every year to hit, another $500 million of cross-sales and inside sales. And similar story, I had the best salespeople in the world. We could cherry pick our salespeople. We had such a strong brand, but like every salesperson in the world, they were reluctant to ask for the close. Trouble to ask for referrals. Would freeze if I said, go increase our fees a little bit. What? We're going to lose the client. John, are you kidding? Can't increase fees. So we began using this as a sales platform. So if you're in leadership or if you're in sales, this will benefit you. Part of what you're going to learn is from my experience in my first book. My first book was called Ready Thinking, Primed for Change. Came out in 2009. Actually won the 2009 Axiom Award for the best business book of the year, beating out over 6,000 other publications from all the leading publishers in the country. Thanks. I paused just to give you guys a chance to absorb that. And I don't want to step on any applause lines, so I gave you plenty of time. Peter Drucker's book. Anybody know who Peter Drucker is? His book came in second that year. That's right. Kicked his ass. That's right. Now he was dead, but nonetheless, he still produces a book every damn year. I mean, this guy's got a formula, I tell you. You got to put a wooden stake through his heart. Ready Thinking, Primed for Change was a book on change. How do you lead with change? How do you make change a competitive differentiation? How do you get your staff and organization up every morning saying, what can we do with this change? As opposed to, uh-oh, what's this change going to do to me? What I found interesting was a lot of my staff was telling me to slow down at American Express. We're going too fast. We haven't absorbed all the change, and I felt we were going too slow. So how do you get an organizational culture around this idea of change as a healthy thing that we actually create, not just let happen to us? And what I found was 100% of the people I talked to in researching that book, 100%, said they love change. And I talked to every industry, every level at every industry, factory floor to the C-suite, all different market caps. 100% of the people said they love change. So what's going on? Does that make sense to anybody? It kind of sucks when you're writing a book apparently no one needs, right? I mean, they love it. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a change consultant out there, but everybody loves change. So what's going on? Well, they're lying, yeah, absolutely. They're delusional. That goes without saying. No, here's the thing. Everybody loves change. But nobody likes being changed. So how do you get people to change without them feeling you're changing them? Because once they feel you're changing them, what do? They stop changing. They dig their heels in. They sit at the end of the bench. Don't call me in, coach. I'm fine. We'll go back to the old policy once this policy doesn't work. Just let this one blow over. What does this mean to us? Because sales, if you're in the sales game, is about asking for change. So how do you get people to change, choose you instead of somebody else, without them feeling you're changing them? That's the secret to the formula. And I learned that through the process of my first book, Ready Thinking, Prime for Change, which won the 2009 Axiom Award for the best business book of the year, beating out over 6,000 other titles submitted by all the leading publishers in the country. I might drop that one in a couple more times today, I don't know. But the real genesis of this program, the reason that I wrote this book, wasn't because of my corporate life, wasn't because of my life as an author, it was because of my life as a father. It was because of a conversation I had with my son Jack about his 9th grade geometry homework. Now, how many of you remember 9th grade? That's, well, good for you. You peaked in 9th. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm getting to the point now where a lot of people look like they just got out of 9th grade, but nonetheless, I remember 9th grade like it was yesterday. Why? Worst year of my life. When I started 9th grade, I was 5'6". I weighed 142 pounds. I was lithe. I was like a ninja. I moved through Sunrise Junior High School in slow motion with music playing in the background. It was unbelievable. Everything fit like the actual tailor came and made my body absolutely perfect to the clothes he was designing. I was 5'6", I was 142. I played 4 sports. I would have played 5, but they wouldn't let me. 5'6", 142. But Bob, when I ended 9th grade, when I ended 9th grade, I wasn't 5'6". I was 6'6". That's 9 months. That's not a full year. That's 9 months. And I weighed 142 pounds. A, that's painful to grow that way. And B, it's not very attractive to grow that way. There wasn't the interstate back then, so you couldn't get online and buy the 24-inch waist and the 40-inch inseam. So you walked around with pants up to your ankles, which apparently that's called capris. It's not a good look back then. I don't think it is today. But maybe the worst thing about 9th grade wasn't the way I wore my clothes, everything hurt. It was geometry. Remember 9th grade geometry? Anybody? Yeah. My brother Tom, he's a year older, tells me you're going to love it. You're going to learn how to angle the 8-ball into the corner pocket. How to arc the golf ball around the clown's head. I ask you, was that 9th grade geometry? It was not. Remember parallelograms? You using those today? You going back to the office and crunching some quadrilaterals? Remember proof statements? Remember those bastards? Never use them the rest of your life. And you want to tell your 9th grader that, don't you? You want to look at him and go, Jack, no problem, just copy that gal next to you. I saw her once, she looked bright. You'll never use this. I asked him, well, we were over looking at the textbook, maybe you guys can relate to this. He's looking at me this one particular night about 9th grade geometry homework. I'm looking at him, textbooks in the middle, like some kind of royal tomb written in ancient hieroglyphics no one understands. I looked at him and finally, in exasperation, I said, any of it look familiar? Just help me out here. Teacher cover any of this today? Oh yeah, Dad. He goes, but she goes so fast. None of us could keep up. Right? And I was running the sales group, so I knew about opening and questioning. So I said, hey, okay, I get that. Whom among you who was confused raised their hand and asked for help? To which he replied, she doesn't like us to do that. She asks us to hold our questions to the end because she's got so much to cover. That's something that she'll cover later. We'll answer the question you have now. I put it to you. Has that ever happened in the history of math? Ever? That you're confused minute one, but by another 60 minutes of math, you got it figured out? But she did say, Dad, that you could come in after school and get help if you need it. Now listen, I don't normally share this, but you guys are optimists, so give me a break. The next thing out of my mouth, I knew was stupid. But I had had a lot to drink that evening, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. I was tuned up. And so I said, well, did you go into school? Or did you go in to get help after school? Which she said, what? No. How much did you have tonight, Dad? Do we have to do an intervention? Of course not. Because Jack, I don't know about if you got kids, but my kid had two parts of the day. One part was school, and the other part was not school. In all honesty, I became more concerned with his inability or unwillingness to ask for what you want, what he wanted, and quite frankly deserved, than he'd ever use ninth grade geometry, because persuading and influencing and advocating for yourself is a life skill. It is fundamental to the slope of your success curve. It's mysterious to people. How come she gets all the business? How come they close all that? How come they got that job or that promotion? If you don't have the willingness or ability to ask for what you want, it stunts who you are. And I hadn't taught. I was teaching my sales group, I was teaching my staff, and I wasn't teaching him. It's at the fundamental part of what I teach. Our program now has been across the globe. And it's this. Here it is. Ready? You don't get what you don't ask for. Will you agree with that? Yes or no? Raise your hand if you agree with it. Because if not, you're in for a long half hour here, because everything else is based on that. You don't get what you don't ask for. It's not a skill that somehow goes away. You don't need it anymore in 10th grade. Are you kidding me? Or in college, or you're getting your first job, or getting your second job, or getting somebody to pay attention to you and do business with you, or getting that next promotion. If you don't advocate, if you don't know how to ask for what you want, generally speaking, you're not going to get it. Let's get you guys involved. I'm going to read a little case here. Everybody doing okay on the mic? It's a little screechy, but could be my hearing aid too. I don't know. It's out of batteries. I want you to listen to this, and then I want you to jot down some notes. I'm going to read this fast. This is one of our exercises we go through in our workshops. I'm just going to read it fast to you. I want you to answer some questions afterwards, so pay attention. Here it is. It's about Bill and Cheryl. Bill is an employee at Rockford Print. Bill's been upset ever since. The company announced the merger last year. Fewer staff meant more work, and Bill is struggling to keep his head above the water. At times it feels like he's doing the work of 3 people. Last week he missed 2 important deadlines, something that's never happened in the past. His client was very visibly upset, verbally reprimanded Bill in front of others. Bill's being pulled in so many directions he doesn't know what to do first and what can go to the bottom of the pile. Now Cheryl is Bill's direct manager, and Bill feels it's high time he talks to her about his concerns. And what are they? Well, one, Bill is coming in, working long hours, coming in on weekends, but at the same pay prior to the merger. He hasn't had a vacation since the merger was announced 9 months ago. The stress at home is intense. He had to cancel 2 pre-planned family outings in the last 2 months alone. He's frustrated that his work product is not up to the company's standard, and he's embarrassed by the recent issues with the client. He is concerned that his year-end review will be negatively impacted by the missed standards. He feels helpless to manage all the work on his desk. He's doing the work of multiple people, multiple roles, often supervising, and that's not in his job description, nor does he have training for that. So Bill goes in and speaks to Cheryl about his concerns and leaves her office feeling better about the situation. He is sure Cheryl understands the pressure he feels and confident she would do all she could to correct the situation. Bill and Cheryl. All right. Based on that, Optimist, this is my software program. It's called Johnware. Pretty straightforward. Based on what I just read, and I read it quickly, Yell out as many answers to the following question as you can. Here it is. Here's the question. What did you hear? What does Bill want? Help with what? Help with priorities. Great. What else? He wants training on supervision. Good. What else? What's that?
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance. Thank you. What else? Some time off, vacation. What else? Money. Who said that? Who said it? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys too? Good. Excellent. Normally when I do this out on the East Coast, Philadelphia, Boston, New York, I'll go through this program and I'll say, what does Bill want? And the first thing they shout out is, money! And then I go, okay, what else did you hear? They go, no, I didn't really hear anything else. Got to be honest, I've been in the Midwest all my life, and sometimes I do this exercise and I'm on page 4. And I go, do you think Bill wants more money? Yeah, but we don't talk. We don't talk about that in public. What else did you hear? You yell it out. I mean, these are good, but they're not right. What else did you hear? To be heard. Thank you. What else? Less stress. Thank you. Yep. Oh, yeah. Empathy. That's a good one. Who said that? Who said empathy? I'm going to give you a book. Here you go. Oh, it's pretty good. Can you hand that back to her? I'll sign it later. It's worth more on eBay. Okay, now listen. These are all good. They're getting closer. I got to cut it down, though. Well, they only gave me about 50 minutes. I'll just tell you what Bill wants. I read the case really quickly, so I get that you might not have picked up on it. But what Bill wants is, I don't know. I don't know what Bill wants. Do you know what Bill wants? Do we have any engineers in here? Raise your hand. Sorry. Thank you. Very linear engineers. I was just down in Dallas with a bunch of IBM folks. Went through this case, and they had like 6 pages of this. And I finally said, stop. You know what Bill wants? We don't know. And the engineers started arguing with me. And I had to say, you realize, Bill, Cheryl, they're made up. You got that? And I made them up. And I don't know what Bill wants. And they're like, no, give us time. We'll get to root cause. I'm like, damn, engineers. Tough group. Here's the second question for you. What are the chances Cheryl's going to give Bill what he wants? Zippo. What's she going to do? Nothing? Fire him? She's going to guess. And chances are she's going to guess wrong. Why?
Bill didn't know what he wanted.
Bill didn't know what he wanted. Cheryl gave it to him, and it was a wrong damn thing. Right? She's going to guess. And inadvertently or on purpose, she's going to guess wrong. And down the rabbit hole you go. Why? Yeah, Jack, I went into Cheryl, asked her for a little bit more money, You know what she did? She took my web redesign task force and gave it to Maria. Yeah, and she's a load. Maria's a load. Doesn't have enough work to do already. The only thing I like to come into work for. Yeah, so Cheryl says, open door, open culture, bring me your issues. Yeah, I trust her about as far as I can throw her. And she's put on a few. Let's just be honest with everything. In other words, I can't throw her as far as I used to. Right? Whose problem is this? Optimist. Bill's, of course. Who else's? Cheryl's, of course, is who else's? The entire outfit. Why? Because nobody's happy about this except your competition. While you're spinning your wheels because Bill didn't know what he wanted and Cheryl gave it to him, it was the wrong thing, and let's go review that. Let's get some memos out there and some texts and some emails. Your competition is celebrating. First step of the asking formula is from this very dynamic. It's from this concept of an axiom. It's the idea that not knowing what you want before you ask for it means you don't get what you want. Not knowing what you want before you ask for it means you don't get it. Why? Because you let your audience guess, and they'll guess wrong. First step of the asking formula is know what you want. When? Every single time. You want to influence another human being, you better know what that is. Or you're letting them guess. And inadvertently or on purpose, they'll guess wrong. Every single interaction, every single call, every single staff meeting, every single sales meeting, every time you want to have somebody give you something, you better know what that is. You better know what success is, or you let them define it. Well, shouldn't they know? For goodness sakes, I'm a sales guy selling something in a sales meeting. Not up to them to know. It's up to you to know. So congratulations, you did something that most people choose not to do. You are asking on purpose. Thank you, by the way, to all of our vets. Will you hold your hands up, vets? Thank you very much. Give them a round of applause. Yeah. For the last 10 years, I've been working with the Department of Defense on orders with the Secretary, as a matter of fact, working with our returning vets, helping them reacclimate into civilian life. And there's a lot of stories I can share with you. But one of the things I've gained from it is the idea of walking on purpose. When that raw recruit comes out of that bus, the first thing he does is he stops walking, ambling around. He walks on purpose. Step one of the asking formula is ask on purpose. Know what you want, know what success is, and control that conversation. There are two groups of people I have found who are horrible at asking for what they want. That first group is veteran salespeople. Why is that? Why are veteran salespeople bad at asking for what they want? Because we're lazy. Because we'll go, hey, why are you kicking my butt for? I'm your veteran guy out here. I'm your number one rep. I'll go out. I'll talk to Dave. Dave and I have been together. We're going to go golfing and have some dinner. He'll give me what. I don't even have to worry about setting an objective or a goal. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. And I normally win because I'm a veteran. If I didn't win, I wouldn't probably be in the role. But this is where you get beat. At American Express, this is where we got beat. If we weren't laser-like focused in our presentation, and we weren't many times, our competition got in there, and they beat us. And we would walk out of there going, I don't think we had our A game. We did not have purpose. Step one of the asking formula is what? Know what you want. Now, about 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, you all raised your hand and you said, I don't get what I want unless I ask for it. Remember that? I made you raise your hand. Remember that, Bob? Yeah. So I know what I want, and I don't get it until I ask for it. What's the second step of the asking for it formula? Ask for it. When? Directly. To the point. Get it out. Let's go here. You're not going to get it until you ask for it, and you know what you want. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Well, if it makes so much sense, why in the world don't we ask for what we want? Why don't we ask? What's that? I'm afraid. You're afraid of what? Fear of what? Fear of rejection. Dun, dun, dun. That's bad. What else? Well, that's a big one. What else? Why else don't you ask? We don't know. We haven't done step one of the asking formula. Thank you. That was a little brown nosy, but I'll take it. What else? What? Why don't you ask? You know you got to. Too lazy. Thank you. Why else? They should know. Why else? Why don't you ask?
They're afraid of no.
Don't want to hear no. I'm not going to ask. I have to get a yes, but I'm not going to because I don't want to know.
May not know who to ask.
Maybe it's not the right person. Bad habits. I don't want to change. There's a good book out on change, by the way. You should look it up. Why didn't my son Jack ask his 9th grade geometry teacher, whose name, by the way, was Mrs. Stern? Why didn't he ask Mrs. Stern for help? He didn't want to look stupid. He didn't want to be ridiculed. What's going to happen if he asks? He's going to stand out. Ladies in the room, please just sit back. You don't have any idea what I'm going to talk about here. Guys, remember what we were like in 9th grade? We heard no all the time. Mom told us no. Dad told us no. Priests were telling us no. Coach told us no. Teachers were... No was like cotton candy. What were we really worried about? I don't want to screw up and get laughed at. Right? Remember those ninth grade dances? Remember those? Ladies, again, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Guys, remember those ninth grade dances? There you are over here with your buddy Bob on this side of the gym, looking good, right? And you go to yourself, hey, Bobby, I'm going to go over. I don't know your name. What's your name? Lynn. I'm going to go over and ask Lynn to dance. What does your best friend in ninth grade tell you? Are you nuts? That's Lynn. Do you know who you're talking about over there? That's Lynn. And she's surrounded by the Lynnettes. They're going to kill you. Yeah, but here's the deal. All eighth grade, all we did, Bob, was stand on this wall, and we're almost in high school now, so I'm going over there and ask Lynn to dance. I'm looking good. My favorite song's on. Wish me luck. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, boom, boom, boom. Was a good friend of mine, boom, boom, boom. Never understood the single word. That's Three Dog Night, by the way.
Great songs.
Now, do you go ask Lynn to dance? Oh, don't be stupid. You go up to that drinking fountain right next to her. That's good stuff right there. That's cold. That's the best. Whew. Lynn, when did you get here? Honestly, I was over there with Bob, and I thought I'd come over and get a drink. I was just kind of thirsty. This is really cool. Hey, don't you like this? Three Dog Nights, yeah. It just came to me. Literally, just popped into my head right now. You wouldn't want to dance, would you?
What did you say? What was your answer?
What does Lynn say? When you say, hey, you wouldn't want to dance, what does she say? No, we get no all the time. No, it's not a big deal. What she said was, quote, I would like to dance, but not with you. Oh, my God. Son of a... Now it's tears of a clown. Thank you, GJ. Never doing that again, Bob. What's wrong with you? Supposed to be my best pal. Let's get out of here. Let's go listen to some 8-tracks at my house. That doesn't go away. That stays in there. Stops you from asking for what you want. All this combines to sabotage your effectiveness. I don't want to hear no. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to look stupid. And it pales in comparison to biology, which you are wired not to ask. Back of your brain, on the reptilian part of your brain, sits a part of your brain called the periaqueductal gray. PAG for short, goes through your prefrontal cortex, designed to protect you from looking stupid. Not only were you worried about the saber tooth back in the day, but your ancestors were worried about fitting in. They didn't want to get excommunicated. They want to be sent to the other side of the island. They want to stick with the tribe. When your periaqueductal gray is triggered, guess what happens? Your mouth dries, your eyes dilate, your blood pressure goes up, your palms sweat, you freeze, play dead. What do you mean they play dead? Hey, have you called that prospect back? I can't. I can't call him. I can't face another no today. I can't pick up the phone. Just literally cannot pick up the phone. Yeah, how much is this? About 10 ounces? You can pick it up. I think you can. No, I can't do it. Be careful. All of this combines. All of this combines into causing you to behave very stupidly. As a matter of fact, it causes you to act like that's right, a dumbass. You can't read it, but it's very funny if you could. It's a dumbass. Dumbaskers don't ask for what they want. That's too scary. So you know what I do instead? I try to convince you to give me what you want, what I want you to give me, because I have a lot of great information. And I lead with it. I give you all kinds of information. Why? Because information does not trigger my PAG. It's just information. You look bright. You'll connect the dots. Don't have enough information? No problem. I got more. Who else needs to see it? I can get information to this entire table. Let's get another meeting together and talk about that information. I don't ask for what I want. I lead with information. When I do, 3 outcomes happen. The first is your audience stops listening to you. Why? Why does your audience stop listening to you when you lead with information? I have no idea what this is. The guy in front of you who was here an hour ago had what? Information. I didn't know what he wanted either. I got a lot of things to do. I got a board of directors I got to support. I've got a system down. I got a client that's ticked off at me. And you're leading with information. I just stopped listening to you. That's bad. What's worse? When you lead with information, it naturally calls for more information. Hey, I got a couple questions about that. Great. Let's get back together next week. Sweet. On and on you go through more and more iterations of information sharing. This is called looping behavior. Very dangerous. On and on you go. Looping through more and more. Are we making any progress here? Are we doing anything positive? Are there outcomes that we're achieving? Don't know, but we're all busy. You know what I'm saying? Our hair's on fire. Sorry about that, David. Our hair's on fire, and we need more staff. We need better products. We need cheaper products. We need more service. Our technology sucks. Get us more technology. We're not getting anywhere. Our competitor has a sales brochure with graphs on it. Let's go talk to marketing. Let's get 4 color graphs. Let's go here. That'll solve the problem. Doesn't. Just loops. If you're not ready to ask, you loop through information. You waste time, energy, and money. First step of the asking formula is what? Know what you want. Second, ask directly for it. Don't loop. Don't confuse information, as positive and powerful as it is. Do not confuse information with influence. If information was influence, don't need you. I know what I want, I'm asking directly for it. There's 2 populations of people who are horrible at asking for what they want. The first population was what? Veteran salespeople. Newbies, when I go teach newbies, man, they're sponges. What do I do? Where's my region? Who do I call? What's the goal for each call? What's my backup plan, right? Give them 4 years. They'll be like, whatever. Second group of people are subject matter experts. Why are SMEs horrible at asking for what they want? Because they know a lot. And what do they have to share with you? All of it. The history of it. The future of it. The first white paper ever written about it. What happened in the past when it changed? They loop. Be careful. If you're a veteran SME, your 2 biggest strengths are your 2 biggest Achilles heels. Better be careful. Ask directly for what you want. You'll distinguish yourself. You'll cut through the chatter. People appreciate it. You're asking on purpose. Then you follow it. I know what I want. I'm asking for it. I follow it up with 3 best reasons. Best reasons are described as what's in it for you to say yes to what I'm asking for. Each best reason starts with you, your, our, or we. Best reasons are from your perspective. In the book, you meet Warren the window washer. The window is a metaphor for perspective. Warren's not successful until he gets from his side of the window over to the perspective of his clients and prospects. Same window. Why 3 best reasons? Why not 1 humongous mother of all best reasons? Or why not 25 best reasons? Why 3? Keep it short. Easy to remember. Rule of 3, that's right. Actually, there are 3 reasons why you need 3 best reasons. Isn't that elegant? Wouldn't it be like weird if I said there's 25? Yeah, you'd be like, that's a loop. I'm checking out. Here's the first reason you need 3 reasons. Here it is. Ready? Yeah. Since your earliest cognitive development, you've learned to learn in sets of 3. Gotta be careful here. I know we got some educators, so they may call me on this, but I'm making it up anyway, so anyway. You gotta trust me. No, since you're early, 1, 2, 3, ABC, do, re, mi, hickory, dickory, dock, 3 blind mice, 3 musketeers, reading, writing, arithmetic, real estate's all about location. Yeah, not location, 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 and location. People would be like, that's too many locations, right? I mean, what's Nike's slogan? Do you know how much they paid a marketing firm to come up with that? It was do it or just do it, burning through millions. They came up with just do it. The rule of three, when you influence somebody, when you're asking for something, when you're asking somebody for something and you're giving them reasons why they should say yes, in a way you're educating them. You're educating. Here's why this makes sense to you. And they're used to learning in sets of three. Now, who knows this in their DNA are comedians. Start watching how a comedian structures a joke, right? How many guys walk into a bar? 3. Mystical, isn't it? Do you know anybody who can't tell a joke to save her life, like my beautiful wife, Tammy? Right? Here's how she'll start that joke. She'll go, hey, Daryl, I heard this really good joke. It's really funny. Hold on a second. John, what's that joke? Okay, hold on a second. I got it. I think I got it now. Here it is. A lot of guys walk into a bar. A lot of guys? How long's the joke? 3 is an important part of that, right? There's 3 rings. Anybody getting married in here? Anybody getting married? Anybody? Yes, well, this will be helpful. There's 3 rings to marriage. There's the engagement ring, there's the wedding ring, and then there's the suffering. So, we got that cooking. See, you thought there was a pattern there. I broke the pattern. Second reason, you use 3 best reasons. It's what you're doing right now. Waiting for it. 3 is reasonable. I can wait for 3 reasons. No problem. If I interrupt you, hey, there's 3 reasons. Let me get back to that in a minute. People seem to think it's reasonable to listen to your 3 reasons. It's when they don't know where you're going is when they interrupt. That's when you have problems. Hey, there's 3 reasons this makes sense. Let me share those with you. And the third reason is what we learned in the military. People remember sets of 3. It's interesting, we did a study that looked at how a non-com or an officer can deliver an order the most effective way possible. And what they found is that when an order has more than 3 parts, 4 parts or more, when an order has 4 parts or more, the soldier forgets all 4. They kind of switched their CPU. Right? I was with you, I was tracking. Now is 1 too many. You've done it yourself. Somebody will say, hey, you got a minute? Jana, let me talk to you a little bit. And all of a sudden be like, whoa, what was the first thing you said? Let me write this down. I know what I want. I ask directly for it. I share with you 3 best reasons why you should say yes to what I'm asking for. Not 4, not 8, not 7, 3. And maybe the most powerful part of the formula is the next step. Ready? I know what I want. I'm asking for it. I'm giving you 3 best reasons why you should say yes to what I'm asking for. The next step is shut up. Zip it. You're done. There's nothing else you can add at this point to increase your influence. As a matter of fact, anything you say after you provide the 3 best reasons is looping. And you'll lose your coherent ask. But what do we do when we ask for something and our audience pauses for just a little bit? What does that make us? Weak in the knees. Something is not right. Nobody is talking. And last I look on my business card, it says I need to be talking all the time. So if nobody's talking, I'm not doing my job. So if I asked for what I want and provided you 3 best reasons and I stopped and you took a second or 2 to answer, that scares the bejesus out of me. And what do? Well, hold on. Have you seen our new marketing kit? Because it's really good. And also here's a pricing sheet. And if I were you, I'd hang on to that a little bit because we're going to have better pricing next week. So I'll come back next week and we can talk some more. How's that sound? It's called late formula looping. We knew when to stop. We just chose not to. I know what I want. I'm asking directly for it. I'm telling you 3 reasons why you should say yes to what I'm asking for, and I know when to shut up. That's the asking formula in a nutshell. Is there anything you need more than that? What other steps do you need? None. I would have given you more steps if you need more steps. There's no more steps. Those are the ones. What steps can you eliminate from those, gentlemen? None. It's like a Zen garden. Right? All right, my last slide. Do I have 2 more minutes?
Absolutely.
Every consultant has to have a 4-box here. I'm not doing it in pink, though. I'm not that I'm not that secure in my manhood. Let's do black. Now, I know you guys can't see it over here, but it's a 4-box, and on the bottom I have answer. And as adults, we know we got to get a yes or a no. And on this side, it's speed. Did we get the yes or no fast or slow? How does it make you feel, optimists? When you go out and engage another human being, you get their attention, which is hard enough to do today, and you influence them to say yes to what you're asking for, and they say it rapidly. I got a fast yes. How does that make you feel? Great. What else? Say what?
Joy.
Joy. Thank you. What else? Successful. What else? Relieve. Money. Thank you. Money. That's right. Scotch. Good. And you know what? Let's put scotch on all these. Okay, scotch, scotch. What else? Confident. Why confident? Who said that? Sorry about that. I'm going to give you a book. That was so good. Why confident? Can you hand that back? Why confident? Because we did it on purpose. We did it with intent. It's not serendipity that we get results in our lives. We have a process that we follow. We teach other people that process so they can get what they want. And we can do it again. That is your organization's competitive differentiation. No one else has that in your industry. They come in and they get things done. They get us to agree and they move forward and they win. No matter what you got that you think is your competitive advantage, it can be replicated. That won't be. We can do it, we can do it again. How about we get a slow yes? How about that? We got a yes, but man, it took a long time. Well, yeah, got it, thank you. What's a slow yes? How does that make you feel? Okay, yeah. Whew. Scotch, thank you. Now you know what I'm talking about. Are we going to say no to those? Hey, you took too long. I don't want your business now. I'm a little ticked off at how long it took you. No, of course we're going to say yes to those, but if you have a template to look at, the first question out of a solid leader's mouth is, what could we have done to speed it up? Took a long, maybe nothing, but every time we try to influence another human being, if we know what we have attempted to do, can we improve? That makes you better. How about this? Baker said get out there and get a quick answer, and I did. Hallelujah. I got a quick no. How does that make you feel? Good. What else?
Lucky.
Lucky? Yeah. You know what? In a way, you got to have gray hair for this. The words I use are thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Okay. I'm a big boy. You know, I get their no's in life. I don't like them. That's not where I'm aiming. But if I'm not willing to ask for a yes, I don't get anything. I have to shrug this off. I have to be better next time, and I will. I have a method of going about it. But that doesn't kill you. This is what I tell all young professionals. Fast no's don't kill you. It's not what we're looking for. It's not what we're aiming at. That doesn't ruin careers. That doesn't take market share away. It's part of being in the real world. You're going to get your no's. Always expecting a yes, that's adolescence, right? Big boys, big girls, we got to go out there. We're going to take some on the chin. What kills you is what? Not the fast no's. What kills you? Slow no's. The maybes of the world. How much more resource do we got to put into this? How much longer are we going to wait around on this thing? That saps your energy and your strength and your resource and your optimism. And I can't tell you what I taught you today will guarantee that you'll always get fast yeses, but I can tell you what you learned today. You'll eliminate that slow no every single time. That's pretty good, don't you think? Yeah. Thanks, everybody. I'm John Baker. I appreciate it. Thanks, Don. Yeah, I got time for questions. I don't want to go long, though.
5 minutes.
Anybody got any questions? We'll open it up.
John,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
why did you come to speak to us today?
Here's why I came. Somebody asked me.
Amen.
I wouldn't be here, but Don picked up the phone and gave me a call. Now, it was 2 months ago, and I had a lot of scotch in me, so no, that's exactly right. I had the time open. I was going to be in town. My mother is over in Stillwater in a nursing home. I was going to come and see her. It all worked.
Did he get a fast yes?
Right away, because you don't, unless you want 18 more phone calls from Don, you just say yes and move on. Any other questions? Thank you very much. My time is done. I appreciate it.
Great job. Great
Thank you, Don. Thank you.
Great job. Very good.
For that mic, turn one on. Yours starts squeaking, mine probably will too.
Okay.
John, I want to thank you very much for helping us out. This is wonderful. I got lost at the parallelogram.
Yeah, me too.
Because I gave up in ninth grade on geometry and just went right to athletics. But I do want to thank you for your sharing your insights. I think it was a lot of fun today. I think it's a great way for us to start off the new year working with threes.
That's right.
And in 2020, as I said before, we're not only optimists, we could be opticians or optometrists, so it'd be a good deal. But we're the optimists.
Thank you.
And with that, I'd like to thank you for being here. And here's a copy of our creed.
Thank you very
that
much.
you can put on your shelf or on your wall, or just carry it in your pocket, whatever you want to do. It's
I'll
a great
do that.
deal.
Thank you
They've got
very much.
not in threes, they got 10 like they had one of those earlier. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Appreciate it.
Terry. Appreciate it.
Great.
Thank you.